I'm Brian DeStoop, here for HCAM. Recently at a monumental milestone here at Holbrook High as Courtney Foley became the first female basketball player ever to score 1,000 career points. We recently sat down with Courtney about her milestone and talked about other things as well, such as her hopes for the future and some past memories. So check it out. Back to Mercier. Shot clock under 10. Foley for three. She's got it!
It was probably the best feeling that I've ever had because everyone who has been there, everyone who congratulated me, they've been there throughout the whole thing. They've supported me since I was a freshman, and it's just been a great accomplishment, the whole thing.
And then you were able to go out and actually win the game, because it would have been weird. It must have been weird if you did that, and then you guys didn't win. It was a close game the whole way.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that once I hit the three, we were only down by one.
Right, it was a big shot.
Yeah, I looked up to the scoreboard when I was sitting out for like a couple of seconds, and I was like, oh, I gotta get back in there. Like, we have to win this game too.
It was a huge deal. It was really exciting. It was great to see all the crowd participation. We had a huge turnout. Tons of kids here, but tons of people from the community as well. It was really fun. She had me a little nervous when she only had 4 in the first quarter, but when she got to 11 at halftime, I said, okay, well, it's going to happen tonight. So it was really fun. It was fun to watch. It was really cool to see it on that three-pointer because when it left her hand, it seemed like it was in the air for a while, and the whole place knew she only needed 3 points, and so it was kind of a really, really fun moment.
What did it feel like for the first half of the game? It seemed like the third quarter was really the big quarter that really got you closer to the milestone, getting 1,000 points. But what was it like earlier on in the first quarter? Were you nervous? You know, were you just like, we just need to get this over with? And how did it feel as it kept building closer and closer?
I was extremely nervous. That's why I sat the first couple minutes because I was like so worked up, and I was like, I need to see what's being presented to me before I go out there just throwing the ball off the backboard and like everything. So it was extremely nerve-wracking.
It felt to me, in a way, the atmosphere of a playoff game, in a way, just because everybody was there and everybody was really rooting. I mean, you get the crowd, it was the loudest I think this has been in a while.
Yeah, there was a lot of energy in the crowd, and a lot of people really anticipating it, and I'm just happy that it happened for her. There's a little bit of extra pressure there with all the people around and people talking about us making announcements at the school, people having, balloons in the stands and all that stuff. So I just was really happy that she got it yesterday, so she didn't have to, go through a pressure-packed situation there.
Right,
so
right.
It was good. And
then how did it feel, once you got, I think it was 11 at the first half, and you were halfway there. Did that build your confidence up a little bit, or did that make you more nervous about, second half, better get going?
They actually didn't let me know that I had 11. They didn't let me know at all until I was down to my last 3. So
you didn't even know till you had till 3 to go?
Yep.
Oh, so was that helpful or not?
I think it helped me because if I knew the whole time how many I needed, I would have tried way harder and tried to overdo it. But
well, Coach Tozzi had cooked some food and purchased a cake, and Mr. Bill Buckley bought a cake that said 1,000 point score, congratulations, first female. It was very nice of him, but it was great. A lot of people came to the cafeteria after and sat down, and the whole team was there, and a bunch of people from the town. It was just a nice little experience for a little ceremony afterwards. So.
Right.
When I met Courtney, I saw immediately the raw talent that she had. She's an athlete. She puts a lot of pressure on herself. Emotionally, she has really stepped it up. I could always depend on her to be in the game, but she always wanted to do so much more.
Watching you over the years, it seemed like you've kind of changed, adapted your game a little bit. Like, you used to seem to love three-point shots, and now you seem to take the ball to the rim a lot more, get fouled and get layups. For you, would you prefer to stay behind the line, or do you like taking the ball in and getting fouled and getting points in the paint?
I've actually grown to like to drive in more because I hear it every day from Mr. Buckley that I should be down low and I should be getting rebounds and everything. And I actually took that into consideration this year, and I've grown to drive in, get fouled, free throws, everything.
Courtney Foley's a tremendous athlete, and she's just a three-sport athlete, and she's just a phenomenal athlete.
Right.
Her game here has really been put together. I mean, she has been a ball handler. She's been a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. She's played every position. She can score. She plays defense. She runs the floor for me, and she is a captain. She's a captain this year as a senior. So she's done it all, and she's really raised her game to another level.
I remember always being like the sixth player off the bench and always going in, and Tazi just saying like I was her spark player to like get the team like wound up and like get them back into the game.
And you know, playing against the West Bridgewaters, the Norfolk Aggie, she's playing equally in and above everybody else, you know, as far as athletes, and she's scoring, you know, so that it's making her that much more successful.
Right. And a lot of the times, especially this year, you've been the ball handler, so it's almost like you're running like a point forward kind of thing. What's that been like? What's it been like to, you know, in terms of you get to kind of see the court a little bit better and see what's available, if you could take a shot or if you need to drive in? What's that been like this year?
Well, it's really like nothing new with Tazi, because since 8th grade she's had me playing center or she's had me playing point guard and like switching every position. So it really was like, it's stressful at times because you have to realize that everybody else has to know positions, but then again, it's like I'm doing what's best for the team to help them out.
What she's done this year, what she did last year, the All-Star team for the Mayflower League, and being honorable mention behind Jakaya Jones-Robinson, it makes her the athlete that she is today, and you know, she's done a great job.
What part of your game do you think has really improved that you've worked hard to get better at?
My attitude.
Your attitude?
Yeah, I think that when I was younger, that if I would mess up on something and I would just shut down completely, I'd get like so angry that I'd just start like making like wrong fouls, like doing the wrong thing. But now that I'm older and like more mature, like I'd think of things before I do them, and I'd like settle down more, and I realized that like not everything's gonna go the way I want it to, but.
Is it hard in the middle of a game if you get a foul that you don't like to bite your tongue and not say anything to the ref?
Oh yeah, it's extremely hard because sometimes like these refs are just like, they're so like into the game, so you can't really blame them. But like then again, it's like on myself too to like realize that I need to.
Well, I saw you at the end of the game yesterday with there was like 2 seconds left, and they called the timeout for the last shot, and there was a real questionable call. And you were actually telling a couple of players in your team to not talk. You were the one saying, so that, I mean, that's got to show growth. And you were the one saying, no, stop talking. Like, and it was to prevent would have been probably a technical, right?
Yeah, because I know how it is to be a ref and like to deal with like people commentating on like your calls that you make. So I understand where the refs come from when they have all that stress on them.
Yeah, it just must be tough in the heat of the moment, though. You're not thinking about them.
Post game, everything. So
yeah.
MVP is most valuable player, and that can mean so many different things. I really think you have to be, number one, as a role model, your presence on the floor, how you get along with your teammates, and what your production is as a player, not just focusing on yourself and what you want to accomplish, but what your team wants to accomplish. So for her and me, if you're asking if she's my MVP, I would say yes.
How does it feel to be the first female? There's been 7 guys to do it, but you're the first female to do it, which the first one's always the one that people really remember in any record, and that for this specific one, that's you. Like, how's that that's gonna carry on throughout when you're 50 years old? You could still say you're the first one.
Yeah, it's like a great feeling. It's just to know that like I'm making history, and not just this building, but the new building that's coming up too, that they're gonna carry everything over to there, and the kids growing up there are gonna see like there's been one girl do it, and it was me.
We have so much to look forward to going into the new building. I think it's probably going to help, you know, when we have these sort of accomplishments and when you see the community come together around them. I think it's going to help with retention of Holbrook students actually staying and going into the new building. I think it's going to be I think it makes a real difference.
Right, a lot of kids athletes leave, they go to the other schools, you keep some of those
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
Definitely the way she plays. I mean, she does have an intensity that, you know, a coach would always like to see in ball players. And I think, you know, just her presence, and I think the younger kids see that and they say, ooh, you know, I want to play like Courtney. So, I mean, whether she realizes it or not, she is a huge role model to the younger kids.
I think it's a very big deal, and I think it's really nice that, you know, we have media outlets like HCAM that are getting this out there. We had newspaper present, we had a lot of photos and a lot of people there. So it's been nice that we've been able to publicize it because it's really good for the kids. But yeah, I mean, you said it all. She's the first female to do it in the school's history. It's quite an accomplishment. So.
What are your goals towards, you know, are you planning on playing in college at all, or, you know, playing basketball or any other sports you play?
I'm planning to play basketball or softball or maybe even both, so hopefully I can get there.
So we're trying to find a spot in the building where we can have a trophy or a plaque or something to commemorate that, because we do want to do a better job of keeping records,
Right.
You know, maintaining the history of the athletic program. I think it's really important to have a history so that people know, you know, you talked about Brockton basketball. If you have a history, you know, I played there and I know a lot of people who played there in the past, and we talk about it, and it's nice to be able to have that history to pass on, kind of get kids to understand that it's not just about their year, it's about the town and the traditions.
Thank you to like everybody who supported me, like my family, friends, teachers, coaches, all teammates that I've had throughout the years. A big thank you to Mr. Buckley for being the best critic that I've had, and just like the boosters and everybody who's like contributed to like pay for everything that we get and like just to help us out along the way.
All right, how does it feel, Courtney Foley, to have 1,000 career points?
It feels amazing. It's really overwhelming. I couldn't be any more thankful for the people I have behind me.
Take everything that I have in and just like live for the moment, but also like don't forget to move forward from this. Like this isn't just like the end. Like I gotta take this and move on with it.